Let's do the add-on reading real quick. Start with the cave. It's going to be kind of a fast one. It's not going to be super crazy or anything. I'm just going to go over new stuff. Nothing old, obviously. But I could do quests. There's no characters, locations. This is the first add-on. I just want to see if there's anything in there. Oh, there's just this. Description of Obelisk, 4 powers to rule the world. I already read that in the main thing, so that one's done. To say there's nothing there to read. This one though will have a lot of stuff, and seeing as it's my favorite add-on, it's pretty cool because it gives you a lot of information about the world. I'm assuming they've taken it from the books later to actually read them. Okay. Characters: Deirdre. Merwin Edaman admits that the firstborn child, Deirdre, is legally entitled to inherit all titles and estates from their father. However, he simultaneously claims that she has lost that right and certainly should not rule, given that she is a cruel changeling. According to the sorceress Sabrina Glasovig, Deirdre Edaman Merwin has been affected by the curse of the Black Sun, rendering her immune both cruel and evil. Deirdre has become Eskel's unexpected child when the Richer saved her father's life. In gratitude, the Prince of Cairngorm promised Eskel whatever unexpected thing he found when he returned home. Eskel and the girl share a special bond, and some might even say they are bound by destiny. The calm, responsible witchers may appear. I've read those. Known to be excessively greedy and hot-headed, Hensel's the king of Kedwin, a powerful and expansive land in the north. He is no way resembles a classic image of a king. He is bearded as a robber and has small, penetrating, wandering eyes. Henselt fields with his neighbors over borders, titles, and protectorates. I don't know. He's also known for his intense hatred of non-humans. We know Lambert. Mason brings his dwarf who leaves the mercenary, providing security for Merwin Adamire and Sabrina Glasovig. He calls himself a rationalist and thus seems true enough. Briggs comes across as a thoroughly loyal and honest soldierly servant. Briggs' subordinates are paid regularly and at the agreed rate, having no doubts as their loyalty. If need be, the dwarf will not hesitate to send to the battle against Deirdre or even the Witchers. Prince Merwin Adami's royal courtier and resides in Ard Carriga. He pursued his sister Deirdre all the way to Kaer Considering her a dangerous mutant affected by the curse of the Black Sun, he wishes to force Deirdre to relinquish her claim to the estate and titles she inherited from her father. Adaman worships the deity Krive and is considered a pious man. He's also a famous hunter, sharing this passion with Sabrina Glasovig. This may be why the normal men and the sorceress understand each other so well. Sabrina Glasovig is one of the most powerful and influential sorceresses in the Northern Kingdoms. She lives in Ard Carrig, Kedwin's capital, acting as an advisor to King Henselt. The sorceress, who is sometimes unceremoniously and quick to judge, is also called the true daughter of the Kedwinian wilderness. She often underlines her somewhat predatory and vivid beauty by dominating provocative outfits, not proactive outfits. Sabrina arrived at Kaer Mormont pursuing Deirdre Anmern. She suspects the girl of being a mutant affected by the curse of the Black Sun, which renders her a monster. Serious threat to the human race. To prove this contention, the sorceress must capture Deirdre and subject her to detailed testing. Vesemir, I know about that. Laws of Cairngorm and laws for female successors. The elders, children, by the way, be they men or women, inherit aristocratic titles and estates. Some notably born younger sons fixate on the laws of neighboring lands and attempt to subvert this principle, but the law is the law and determines the fractional state of things. Cairngorm lies west of the Kestrel Mountains and has a silver griffin on the red field as its emblem. The kingdom has aligned with Kedwin and Melior, forming the Hengifors League. Notably born, Medwin Adwin and his entourage have made camp in the river ford near Kaer Morn. The sorceress Sabrina Glasovig is, ostensibly a member of the routine, but her tent, located in the center of the camp alongside the aristocrats, suggests an altogether different status. The camp is also home to mercenaries whose services Adamir retained for the mission. They sleep out in the open by campfires and take turns guarding the campsite and the boats which they travel to the Witcher's fortress. Thus far, Admire and his group endured several attacks by the aggressive wolf packs that infested the area. The largest of the northern kingdoms, with its capital at Ard Carrig, Kedwin has a cold and unforgiving climate. Its ruler, Henselt, coerces frequently with the monarch of neighboring Addon. Kedwin also shares its borders with the kingdoms of Redania and Caragorn, with the Duchess of Yaspalden and Creighton. Portions of the Fiery Mountains, the Kestrel Mountains, and the Blue Mountains run through the kingdom. The Witcher's fortress of Kaer Morhen is located amidst the peaks of the latter range. Further south lies the land of the Free Elves, and an enclave established by the elves seeking refuge from centuries of warring with humans. Kedwin's main cities are its capital and the city of Ban Ard, famous for a sorcery school. Yeah, I read that in the main thing. The mine near Kaer Morhen is as least old as the fortress. Once a rich source of iron ore, it is now deserted, mining having ceased long ago. Its abandoned tunnels have fallen into ruin, and the witchers venture there solely to gather savant mushrooms. While the witchers will roam from their past each autumn, they must exterminate the monsters that make their lair in the mine while the beast slayers are away. I don't need anything new unless it's like some. No point in reading those. Formula, there's all the same stuff. Ingredients, there's nothing new there. Oh god. Entrabot's prophecy had wide repercussions to this day. The debate rages on whether it proved true or ravings of a madman. In all certainty, there occurred a solar eclipse, which many mutated girls were born. Some of them were isolated from society immediately, from whose the tales of the princesses of power, imprisoned towers atop the glass mountains, and princes who set out to rescue them. Rumors abound regarding bloody female outcasts born under the Black Sun, resembling women only in appearance. Many say the creatures proved nothing more than the cruel monsters. Mages agreed to explore the matter and proceed to employ various means in their investigations. Vivisections provide necessary in some cases, providing the only certain way of revealing the evil mutations. However, they cannot agree whether the internal anatomical deformations they discovered were decisive of the creature's evil nature. Curse of the Black Sun was prophesied by the mage Eddibald, who predicted the return of Lilith, a magical being who is to bring ruin upon the world. Lilith's second coming will be preceded by the appearance of 60 maidens wearing gold crowns, who fill the river valleys with blood, thus preparing the way. All surprise. When a witcher saves a man's life and the man says, "In gratitude, I'll give you whatever you desire," the witcher then answers, "You will grant me whatever unexpected thing you encounter when you return home." In rare instances, the surprise proves to be an infant born during its father's absence. Based on law, surprise the child belongs to the witcher, becoming the unexpected child to whom the witcher is bound by destiny. Many unexpected children were brought to Kaer Morhen, where they were then raised and trained to be witchers. Vivisection. Those who examine young women who might have been affected by the curse of the Black Sun often employ vivisection. It is the only procedure that allows one to determine with certainty if someone is a mutant and thus may be a dangerous beast. Vivisection is the act of operating on a living organism. Mages perform vivisections on monsters and animals that attempt an effort to expand their knowledge of anatomy. The subject must always be strongly fastened on the operating table, as anesthesia is not generally used during the procedure. Oh, that's fucked up. Alright, the next one. City jail. You will lose your current progress, yes. That's nothing new. Characters. Wealthy noblemen interested in alchemy and all things mystical. Iverdin and Rain gladly buys monster ingredients and potions. Griffarian, innkeeper and owner of Rizima's famous Hairy Bear Tavern. Griffarian is a veteran of the war with Nilfgaard and thus a member of Band of Brethren. Grazul is local fighting championing, was veteran and member of Band of Brethren, who founded the Hairy Bear Tavern. Challenged to a fist fight, he's often likely to agree and thoroughly trounce his opponent. Gurren Hergis, blacksmith, armor, and veteran in the Nilfgaard War, gun leads the Band of Brethren. Lorethiel is a strong, independent elven huntress. Lorethiel hunts monsters just like witchers do. She's recently suffered a heavy wound during such an outing. Milka, beautiful girl with a penchant for gambling and the mystical. Milka could be found, usually be found at the local tavern, playing dice and constantly emptying unwitting travelers' pouches. Mr. Glover. The local underworld boss, Mr. Glover, seems to control the streets of the temple quarter. Dandelion borrowed money from him, so now I need to pay Glover back. Navik, a gravedigger with a lucky hand at dice. Navik fought alongside Gunn during the war against Nilfgaard and thus became a member of Band of Brethren. Oriel, commander of the mercenary unit stationed in the temple quarter. Oriel doesn't seem much bothered by the mission. Like any good commander, spends most of his days getting pissed drunk at the Hairy Bear Tavern. Princess Nurka, a gifted herbalist and healer. Priestess Nurka keenly buys herbs, which she uses to treat her patients. Ralph Dubin, chief of the city guards of Vizima's temple quarter. Dubin is venal, often thoroughly corrupt, and always ready to bypass the law if any kind of personal gain is involved. Tavern under the Hairy Bear. Hairy Bear offers a chance to place the bets for money. Hairy Bear hosts fistfights, naturally there for money. That's nothing new. Nothing new. Find nothing new there. And price list. All of Vizima might as well check the prices of herbs, potions, and monster parts. Maybe I should draw it upon my own Witcher's price list. Yeah. Okay, next one. You can see I have those older saves. I'm gonna keep the cave, that. I think that's Sagiel. That's one. That's another one. I don't think Cemetery is another one, but probably keep the Squalid Homestead and get rid of the Cemetery one. Cool. Crack Jug now. It's tutorials, characters. Dershin, merchant, arrived at the seat about a year ago when gold was found in the mountains. He bought a few huts and settled in the village. He's an arrogant and vain man, looking down at the dwellers, which don't help him find many friends. Lena is a priestess of eternal fire and lives in deceit. She's a good and mild maid. She always sees the good part in people. Norris is the sheriff in the Herringor's fort, sent after the fugitive criminal. Hangs around the inn, which is with the sword Bornitz, pretending he conducts search. He would like someone else to do this task. Blacksmith's boy in the seas. He's suspect of killing Katya. He fled, is now wanted. Crack Jug Inn. Inn is the place where villagers from deceits come from time to time to play dice, poker, fist fight, or simply drink something. Here, travelers can rest before or after crossing the mountains. Deceits, a small village crouching at the bottom Kestrin mountain chain, which separates Kor, Veer, and Hermforsley from Cadwin. Since rich gold bed was discovered in the mountains, traffic of the nearby trade route significantly enlivened. The Rotite Inn, this forgotten corner in the north, became a natural stop for all types of workers and merchants before the last stage of their travel. Okay. That's still there. Next one. Stupid charger get in the way. Alright, I'll load this. Characters. Beekeeper. Beekeeper doesn't seem to fit the job. The business is run in the family for generation to generation, but he seems not to have a good hand in that. The beekeeper seems to be incapable. Beekeeper's wife starts to be embittered. She was married to the beekeeper, though her mother warned her not to, and turned out to be a lame duck. Doria is Melitelli's priestess sent by the temple to help the village in the face of the spreading illness. She's waiting for a merchant who's supposed to bring the cure. She's against destroying the race. She believes that one should try to help the anxious souls. I wonder if she would still think so while being attacked by a wraith. I got a strengthening potion for giving her the ingredients for the healing brew. It looks like an ordinary swallow to me. Fisherman. Caligor says it's worth talking to this man, even though it may seem that he only sits in the footbridge and catches fish. He knows about many things happening in the village. Maybe he knows something about the race. Fishing is his passion. He won't change a good catch for anything. Fisherman has a brother, though he's more of a problem rather than a help him after an accident on the river. The fisherman doesn't want to leave his brother. Gnomes. Well-fed and happy gnome could even take the ash out of a stove. Gnomes appear late at night, about 2 hours after the race disappear. The gnomes dare to leave their hides. Maybe I could see them if I'm quiet enough. A smith is skeptical about the gnome's help. He doesn't think a gnome could forge a sword to help him in the smithy. According to people of the quiet hamlet, a gnome is a small man with a pointed hat. In return for some help, they get milk and a sausage, which they drink late at night. They could take care of a small child and even sweeten rooms at night. An angry gnome can make mess into honey and even milk sour in the udder. People can think of many interesting things while sitting by the beer. The old lady looked carefully at everybody new to the village. She knows me right away. She has her opinion on everyone. Though she may seem to be gruff, she loves her ill husband very much, and she would give everything for him getting better. So here's the mommy who guards her daughter better than the royal guard, and she can make use of that club of hers. How does Dandelion do it? That he manages to get away before her husband or parents come back. Ilgramps. Vesda's father, a man of advanced age. He got the strange illness, a cure for which should arrive any day soon. He said enough of being fed with soup. He'll tell me something about the race if I bring him some roast mutton. Just like the innkeepers, he seems friendly, but he doesn't forget about Oran's for a place of rest. Jim is the fisherman's twin brother. You can't tell them apart. However, the fisherman brother acts like a child. 2 years ago, he fell off the boat while he was drunk and hit his head on the oar, unfortunately damaging it. Sometimes he forgets talking to someone a while before. The fisherman is good as his brother, doesn't leave him, even though he is no good at anything. Caligor is the first to welcome me in the village. He seems to be a person who cares about the village, and he wants me to get rid of the race. He doesn't want to pay much, but I get used to it while visiting villages. The fisherman says that Caligor was once a lazybones and a wastrel. Together with his buddies, he went after the conquest of the city. After some time, he came back much richer. Caligor came back a day after Caled, the son of the village leader, had left. The fisherman wonders why he didn't meet on the road. Vesna is afraid of Caligor, and though he offered presents, Doria doesn't speak very highly of Caligor. She says he's a bad man. Time will tell. Sheep herder. The guy tends a sheep and thinks all the world of them. It's a wonder why people don't laugh at me yet. He says that his family comes from the mountains, but they were forced by the elves to leave. After I got rid of the wolves, I got a mutton leg, get a free place to rest. The sheep herder is an interesting man. He trusted the witcher and let him stay in his own house. Drinking some water. Smith. Quiet Helmut Smith has been heard about me. Unfortunately, Dandelion's exaggerated stories reach this place as well. Smith has a daughter. Her illness revealed his great love to his child. On one hand, he tries to be strong and ingenious, head of the family. On the other hand, he seems helpless in the face of the child's illness, and he has no skills that would help her. Village leader. Quiet Hamlet started to drink a lot more after his son had gone earn some money in the city and shows no sign of life for 2 months. After buying something stronger and play dice, he might tell me if he saw anything interesting in the fields, and maybe you know something about the ghost. The village leader broke down after he lost his son. I suspect his son is really missing, but is he one of the race? Maybe one day the village leader will accept his son's death and will pull himself together. The wraiths won't leave the village on their own. What will happen once a village leader learns about his son, even though being a dangerous wraith was destroyed forever? Vesda is a young girl living in the quiet hamlet. Because there's no merchants coming to the village, the girl grumbles about the lack of trinkets. Because of her looks, she has to put up with the vulgar jokes of some villagers. Quiet Hamlet is haunted by wraiths every night. Caligor wants to get rid of them. I know I can kill a wraith with the silver sword, but it would reappear the next day. So the dead will come back accidentally. Only those who have died suddenly can't find their peace after death come back as wraiths. You can talk to a wraith if you have an item that belonged to it while still human. The wraiths won't leave the village on their own. I have to destroy them or complete a task that keeps them in this world. We are the first victim of the race. They seem to behave bolder and bolder. They can attack any time now. You destroy wraith by burning the bones of those who become wraiths. Quiet Hamlet, a picturesque village, seemingly very peaceful, still having its secret connected with the race. Maybe it will be my job to deal with that problem. Village Inn, just like many others of the kind, the dwellers of the nearby village can drink some not necessarily top quality beverages in here, sometimes play dice or fist fight for money. Travelers expect some simple food and a place to rest. And this village inn stands out after all. They have a magic chest in here. The innkeeper said that was left by a sorcerer who overestimated his abilities in contacting the forces he apparently didn't fully understand. They had never found the body, and the chest remains as a perfect lockout for travelers. Next one. Alright. A lot of characters. Let's do locations first. Is there nothing other than just characters? Cool. Had Queen seems really out of her. Conversations with her are starting to get more and more dangerous. Dancer and singer amongst the joyful company. Yet another woman hurt by a poet. Will it ever end? Eskel, he's always made a great entrance. I can't imagine a wedding without his company. Jumping and having a drink with a friend. Priceless. The bastard dared to pick my wife up. Thy blood I demand, Eskel. Such matters cannot go unresolved. I'm happy to say we ended this chapter with Eskel once and for all. Can't wait to see the two best fighting, though. Figgin, I met him in the outskirts while investigating the Doppler case. Since I brought the snot of the power to his attention, the next few days will be unrepeatable for this dwarf. Excuse me. Fisher King, I met him in Murky Waters, an odd and boorish fellow. Ganfalf, strange guy, strange gibberish, how did he get here? Cockstein, an alchemist, to help him get into the mage's tower. As always, he began prattling on about every conceivable subject. He should tell bedtime stories to kids, falling asleep would be so much easier. His knowledge of alchemy not only amazes the most hardened, but at least dipsos of all kinds. Lambert, we were brought up together at Kaer He implied that I'm a sucker to let all this happen. Somebody got loose lips here. With some help from Vesemir, we cleared out the problem. Lambert will get what he deserves. It's only a matter of time. Lucas. Yarpin's mate, frankly a noisy, obviously a dwarf. The essence of dwarven carelessing and gambling always remained a mystery to me. Morn, a dryad from the forest of Brooklyn. I met her on my search for the salamandras. She's apparently enjoying herself. She made it clear how the company of druids bores her, and what lovely change met her here. I hope the guests won't cross the line by giving her attention. Daniel heard about Morn's mood, it seems. They might end up with an unforgettable night together. Regan Dahlberg, a very friendly and effusive dwarf from Yarpin's team. He convinced me to try some hooch. I really hope I won't regret it. Stranger Trader games are being organized for my wedding. You have to start watching your head, never knowing what might come raining down. Sabrina. Sources of Kedwin, she has to change a bit. She used to social events more elegant in nature, so she's complaining a bit, but all in all, I think she's enjoying herself. Siegfried. Knight of the Order Siegfried, who helped me solve the case of salamanders, became the new Grand Master of the Order. He almost sent me to death, but it's nice to see him anyway. Thala, the chief of the Prince of Spy Ring, is behaving somewhat oddly. He's not doing his... I suspect he's not here by chance, and what's more, he's not doing his job right now. He mentioned somewhere about a secret mission. I'll have to talk to him more on the subject. Vesemir. Phil Vesemir isn't too happy about the wedding. What are you going to do now? Trish won't do anything now. Vesemir really has a way with storytelling. We've been hearing them since our childhood, but we still can't get through enough of them. Old Butcher tried to discreetly warn me off marriage, but he couldn't get away with any further without risking indiscretion. Oh well, Trish wanted to find out who had tried to convince me to escape anyway. Xavier, one of Yarpin's mates. As a dwarf, he has established views on every single thing. Let's hope Trish can't read dwarven minds. He even leader one of the Elven Commandos. It's nice to see my why. Why I ask you? Did everyone know about the wedding before I did? Zoe, a dancer, singer amongst a joyful company. She also has the makings of a philosopher. Zoltan, we have gone through many wonderful times with this jam. Alright, next one. And those last few ones are kind of suspect since this was all a dream anyway. So, whether or not those are accurate, I don't know. Doubt it though. And the final one. Characters, Dylan. Dylan's a young student of medicine. He is undergoing medical training at Vizima Hospital. Dylan, under the influence of alcohol, talks to a drowner. I don't know what to make of it. The kid seems nice enough. He offered me some wine and told me about the hospital and the PFI. Haldis, Ghost's beauty, who wants me to fulfill a prophecy. Ghostly beauty, prophecy which tells the end of the world, and then coming a demonic dwarf named Grumpy. Tech turned logical and highly devoted to the idea of spreading evil. She asked me to kill Father Witchmas. Every innkeeper is practically the same as the last. This one, however, offered me a job of getting rid of monsters in the local cemetery where his wife is buried. 3 witches. The witches, despite significant age differences, call themselves sisters. They submitted a Haldis will, and they all propagate the idea of doing evil. Sefik is the first example of a talking drown I've ever seen. He's interested in the fate of the world, and that's why he told me the prophecy is supposed to help me save it. Sefik directed me to Father Witchmas, the drowned, and also told me that according to him, monsters are no different than people, so coexistence is possible. Nothing new there. No, that's there. Alright, thanks for watching. No way. Yeah, thanks for watching.